Hello, second graders. Happy Thursday. Today is our experiment day. Now I'm hunching over because I have an experiment here on my counter. So that's why I'm hunched over like this. So we're going to be working with a model today and seeing how canyons can be created. So this is what our model looks like, and I can move this kind of out of the way. It's going to be this. Oh. So you can see that there are 4 mounds of land. There's a paper plate and then an actual plate underneath. And what we've done is we've moved the plate a little bit off the edge so that the paper plate has a slope to it so that there's a place in front of this. Now let me tell you why we're going to do that. We're going to be adding water to this diagram or this model to see what happens when there's rainfall.
Hi, second graders. I wanted to hop in the middle of this video because I wanted to explain a little bit more about what I mean by a model and what the parts of the model represent. So when you're creating a model, there's always something that represents the thing that you're trying to create in real life. So what we're trying to create in our model here is an example of a type of erosion or land change. So in order to have those things present, you have to have land, which is represented in our cornmeal. Let me show you. That's the cornmeal mixture, the one that's in the mounds. That's representative of our land that goes high, like a mountain or just regular flat land. But in our experiment today, it's going to represent those kind of mountain-looking things. And then what's going to represent the water or the rain is going to be the water that we add on. So because rain comes down in droplets, what we've done is we've put a hole at the bottom of this cup and poured water inside, and this is the part of our model that represents the rain.
So I have a cup here that has a hole at the bottom of it, you can see here, and I'm going to be adding a cup of water to it on top and watching rain pour down. All right, let's talk about what I used to make the land. So you can see here that I have my container of land, and it did require some creating. I thought it was just going to be cornmeal, but it's actually not. So I used 1.5 cups of cornmeal, which I got at the grocery store if you saw our weekend video. And then it required a full 1/2 cup of salt, which is the most salt I've ever used in a recipe before. But we're not going to be eating it, so I'm not concerned. And then finally, a 1/2 cup of water. And so I filled it up with water, mixed it up, and then I used these cups to push the cornmeal mixture down and then dump them out into 4 mounds. So what you're going to need with you today is that worksheet that we worked with yesterday, the one that has 3 questions on it. And if you don't have your worksheet printed out because you don't have a printer, don't worry, I'm going to read you the 3rd question right now and you can write it down. And remember, since this is a video, you can replay this however many times you need in order to hear the whole thing. So you're going to be answering at the end of this question, how did the water change the model of land? So the model of land is what I've just shown you here, and we're going to be adding water. Now you can answer this question with words or with pictures and labels. So whatever works best for you is how you can show your learning. Now I'm going to adjust this camera to show downwards so that you can see our model really well. Oops, sorry. And I have a very small apartment, so you can pretty much see the whole thing from this vantage point. That's my workspace over there. All right, we're going to dump 3 cups full of this water down onto the land and see what happens. I've got my sink here. Here's the first land, first wave of a storm, a rainstorm. So that was 1 cup of water, and you can see, I'm going to bring it up to you as much as I can. You can see that these 2 landforms are definitely not as tall as they were. You can see these ones weren't hit as much. and these ones kind of sloped down. You can see cracks in the land on both sides. And you can also see, most notably, this big pool of water, but it's not just water. You can see that it's yellow, and the reason that it is yellow is because it's filled with that land mixture. So it's not just water, it took some of the land with it, and it went down. Okay, now, oh, sorry, that's too high. Now I'm going to show you a second round. Let's talk about it. This was the third one, and you can see notably that these have almost completely been demolished by the water, but I want to guide you towards this one right here, because that's a really awesome thing that happened, result. So if you look over here, you can see that part of it has totally fallen off, and what's left here is a cliff. And between these two mounds, because there's a high point here and a high point here, and both have come off, you can see that a canyon has formed. And I bet if I continue to pour water on this spot, as if there were a rainstorm happening on this spot, that spot would get deeper and deeper. Now I also want to show you how big our pool has gotten here. You can see that parts of the cornmeal has dripped off on both sides and pooled heavily down here at the bottom. I can tell you that down here it looks like there's more water than that there's more land than there is water. So much of that land is in that bottom spot. Okay, let's do our third one. So you can see that we had a canyon there for a while. When this one was facing up, there was a big giant canyon that went on. Now, over here, the bottom of it became really soft, and so it tore off. So most of our land went completely flat and flew down. Now what's left here, up here, is a cliff that has a bit of a slope to it. I bet you if there were many, many more cups of water that we poured over it, there would be barely any. I also noticed, I'm not sure, you can kind of see the whiter spots on the camera. Those are actually bubbles. So I talked about how there's not just cornmeal, there's also salt, as well as the water in the mixture. So it looks like the water kind of caused a little bubbling here, and that's why there are some white spots in there. All right, so that was our experiment. Now, oh, and you can even see, I didn't even show you this, it actually came off of this paper plate and went onto this regular plate. So now what's left to do is you are going to answer that third question. Let me read it again to you. How did the water change the model of land? So that's your third question. Remember that you can pause the video here while you're answering the questions because we're going to go ahead and move on. And you can always use pictures, drawings, diagrams to describe your learning. We left a little bit of room at the bottom of that worksheet if you did print it out. And of course, if you're writing your own, you can just go ahead and add a picture or diagram to it. If that helps you to understand your learning, you don't have to. All right.
Hello, I'm up in the corner now, and I'm going to show you the wrap up for our experiment because it shows you lots of different possibilities. So through our experiment, we learned one way that it could have gone, but they show you lots of different ways. So I thought it would be a great way to show you how other people have done it and what it could look like. And you'll see that their setup looks different than my setup because I could not find a ruler. And also you can see their cup is a little bit different up here, but it's basically the same thing. What I like about their setup is that they use the same exact spot. Now I tried to keep my hand steady, but because I'm just human, I'm sure that it moved around a lot. But by putting it above this ruler, it seems that they're able to drip it on the same exact spot over and over again. So let's see how they're gonna wrap this up for us.
So you did an experiment to find out what happens to land when it rains over and over. This is a sped up video showing what I got when I tried this experiment. Just like you did, I poured the water over and over. And as you can see, when I did this, I actually saw a little canyon form. Maybe you got a canyon too, but you might have gotten to see something different. Like, watch this. Notice how this time when I did it, all the land kind of spilled out. Well, this happens in real life after heavy rains, as you can see here in these mountains. Or maybe when you did this experiment, you got something like this. You notice how the edges of the land start to crumble and fall and left behind a cliff? Well, that's also something that happens sometimes after heavy rains, as you can see here. Water really is as powerful as an excavator. Water is what digs out canyons. It even dug out the Grand Canyon. In fact, the Grand Canyon, along with a lot of other canyons, has a river at the bottom of it, which keeps carrying dirt and rocks away. As time passes, water will make the Grand Canyon even deeper and wider than it is now. In all of these examples, you could see how the water can pick up sand and dirt and rocks and carry them. That means the land moves from one place to another. The power of water to move land, that's what in science we call erosion. Erosion is so powerful that it can change the shape of the land around us, creating new landforms, like canyons, or these things you might have seen. We call them fans. And these things, we call these landslides. You don't even have to live near a canyon to find your own example of erosion. Check this out. My friend Pat spotted these canyons forming near her house. Now, without anything to compare it to, you might think these are pretty big canyons. But look now as we zoom out. You can see the person next to it, and now you see these are just tiny canyons about the size of a person. You'll be surprised what you find if you look around, especially after it rains. Look for gutters, or look at ditches on the sides of roads, or even any streams or creeks that you have nearby you. You can find small versions of canyons. And if it's not raining, that's no problem. Use a bucket of water or a hose and spray it on some dirt or sand. See what tiny versions of canyons and other erosion landforms that you can find near you. Have fun and stay curious.
All right. I like that they kind of took how you can find canyons in your own area, and I think that it's a great time to look for something like that if you're able to get outside and go for a walk or something like that. It is supposed to rain this upcoming weekend. I know it rained this past weekend. So if you're out and about and you're near maybe some softer land, you might see your own versions of erosion around you. Thank you so much for watching, and we're looking forward to learning more about erosion, sands, and how landforms can change next week. Bye.